Hi, I'm Warren from Umbraco, and I'm here to show you what's new in Umbraco Forms. Okay, so let's take a look at what's new in Forms. First up is the new Form Designer, which is much in line with the rest of Umbraco 7.4. We've learned a lot from 7.4 in terms of the updated grid and the new document type editor, and we've applied the same UI and UX patterns from this, and we've applied it to the Form Designer. So the Form Designer is a lot easier and simpler to use now. Here you can see I have a Contact Us form with name, favorite color, and a photo field. In the favorite color is a drop down of choices: red, blue, green, and other. First nice UX thing we've done here. So let's add a new field. What is your favorite color? And then we can choose a short answer. So a short answer is a text field, as we know it as developers, but content editors doesn't necessarily know what a text field or a text area is. Same with checkbox list, multiple choice, and things like short answers and long answers. A bit more easy to understand for the non-techs who get to use Umbraco Forms. So let's pick short answer. Here you also notice that we have finally the HTML5 placeholder attribute. So we can then say, tell us what it is. And then the enable conditions is the same as before, so we can show and hide fields depending on conditions of other fields values. So here I'm going to show this field if all of the following match. So this is the same as before. However, when working with fields that you depended on that contained pre-values, you had to manually type that pre-value in. So a common one was a problem was with a checkbox list or a checkbox even. You wouldn't know if you needed to enter 0 or 1, true or false, yes or no. Now we can just say select a field, so we can say favorite color is other, and then we can submit this. So we're only going to show this field if the user up here fills in other from the drop down list, and maybe it makes sense to reorder these. So we can click reorder and reorder this so it's above photo and save. Yep, I'm done reordering. So more of the common form settings are now in this settings section. So things like button labels or captions, CSS classes. So all the previous settings have been kind of grouped together in one common place rather than dotted around in various different places in the UI. It's all kind of grouped together here in one common place. So that's a form designer in a nutshell. The next thing to note is that if I expand this Contact Us, you'll only notice that we have entries and workflows is missing, because workflows makes more sense to be on the actual form designer itself. So you can think of it as kind of like if this then that. So once I submit the form, I want to see a submit message or go to a page, and then I want to send an email, and then I want to send a Slack notification, and so on and so on. So it made more sense to combine workflows into the form designer, so content editors can know exactly what's going to happen once their form has been submitted. So here we can see we can either determine our submit message that will display in line after the form, or we can alternatively choose a page as before. The next is obviously the send email workflow, and I can add workflows such as Slack. I can give this a name, send to Slack, and I don't know my API token, but let's just say it's 123, and I want to post it in the channel contact notifications, and the bot is Mr. Bot, and his avatar URL, I don't know, is foo.com. So we can quite easily see the chain of workflows and their order of execution in this nice list here. So once the form's been submitted, I'm going to display a message or go to a page. Then I'm going to send an email, and then I'm going to send a message off to Slack. If your workflow depended on a different order, it's easy. We can just drag and drop these, nice and simple. So you can see on the bottom of the form as well, we get this nice overview of exactly what is going to happen once this form has been submitted. The next big UI change that we've done to forms is the entries viewer. The entries viewer has been updated to keep in line with the rest of Umbraco. So this is more like the list view. So here you can see we've got a nice long list of entries. I can filter them as before. The date range has finally been fixed in this release, so we can select a range of dates to filter our entries. So if our form has been on the web for a long time and we want to see entries only for a specific day, so say if it was for a competition or a week, for a specific week, we can do this quite easily. Once I click into an entry, you can see that we use the full screen real estate here to display the entry and its details. So we've got this metadata, so to speak, on the right. So when it was submitted, if it was updated, which may be the same as obviously submitted, the state, the ID, and the unique GUID, and then obviously we've got the more interesting information about what was submitted. Here down the bottom, you'll notice we've got Alt, Shift, and K. So if I do that on my keyboard, we can see we have some keyboard shortcuts. So you can see for next and previous entry, we've got the left and right arrow, and Escape to close the details. So rather than using the buttons down here to page through our entries, we can simply use the arrow keys to quite quickly move through the records and get an overview of what has been submitted. A new feature that has been added is that with export, we've got two export options. We've retired to CSV because problems would come up time and time again where form fields contained commas or things that would be seen as a separator for a CSV file inside a field value. So hence the CSV would then break. So now we support export into a real Excel file. So if the value contains a comma, it's not going to break your Excel file anymore. So let's click that, and we've now got a Excel file, and there it is, done. I can click it. I only got a free Excel reader, but you can see I can look through my entries. Another export function that we have is that we are able to save all the uploaded files. So all those photos of those cats that we've just seen, it might be that you have competition entries and you need to grab all those files quite quickly in one go. We grab all those submissions or files that are uploaded, bundle them into folders, and combine that into a single zip that you can download. So here I now have a zip file containing folders which match an entry GUID or a submission GUID, and you can see the relevant file that was submitted for that entry. So that's it in a nutshell in terms of the UI and UX. Under the hood, there's been a lot of bug fixes and improvements. I really hope that you get on board with the latest version of Forms, and I look forward to any feedback or any issues that you may have. Thank you very much, and I will speak to you soon. Thanks. Bye.